Thank you so much for joining this session and taking 10 minutes to learn more about the different Salesforce career opportunities that you could pursue when you relaunch your career with Salesforce. So let's first think about Salesforce as a product. Salesforce CRM, which is a CRM solution which is used by companies worldwide, is owned and developed by Salesforce.com themselves. Now, Salesforce as a company is definitely a brand that you could go and work for. They are the ones that own the product outright and they are continually developing it and innovating it. And they have a whole suite of jobs available within their global corporation. It is recognised as one of the best companies to work for worldwide. So, absolutely, it is an aspiration. And some of our Supermums have gone on to work for Salesforce directly, which is absolutely a fantastic opportunity, and there's lots and lots of different career opportunities and lots of progression that you can do within that company directly. Now, what you have around Salesforce itself is this what we call the ecosystem, and what has happened as a natural result of Salesforce building their product is that you've got lots of spin-off companies that are developing as Salesforce consultancies. Now, what a Salesforce consultancy does is help a customer implement Salesforce. So a Salesforce consultancy could be a company such as Deloitte, Accenture, PwC, some of the big corporations that you get and are worldwide consultancies, to even smaller consultancies that have been set up and have grown along the way. And these companies consist of Salesforce consultants. Predominantly, you will have developers there, you will have sales staff there as well. But what they do is they go into an end customer, which could be a company like Aston Martin, for example, to a smaller non-profit or a small business. And they will implement Salesforce for that customer and then let them sort of own and manage the system long term. So the other types of companies you have are the end customers within the ecosystem. As I mentioned, they could be big, large corporates. So 99% of the FTSE 500 globally do use Salesforce for their business to help power it every day. But they could also be non-profits and small businesses that use Salesforce to manage all their customer information, help their teams do their job every day, and use it religiously. So you could, as a Salesforce professional, get a job within one of those end customers and be managing that CRM for them on a day-to-day basis. So you have a suite of job roles within all of those different companies. And the other company type that I'll also mention before I move on to those different roles in more detail is you have what we call ISVs. And ISVs are companies that have gone, you know what, we'll build an extension to Salesforce so it does something specific for a certain industry or sector. So ISVs are people that have been able to manipulate the Salesforce product even further and add an extension to it for a certain industry or product or service. And so an end customer like Aston Martin, for example, might choose that ISV product as well as Salesforce to create the whole suite of solution that they need. And so we are also placing our Supermum candidates get placed within ISVs, end customers and consultancies, a whole suite of different jobs. So this is where people often say, well, actually, which job suits me? Like, which way would I go? And I think one of the best ways to look at this is to kind of actually think about your personality style a little bit. And it might be that you try all these different ranges of jobs and different companies throughout your career in the Salesforce ecosystem, and you might be in it for 20, 30, 40 years. So you have the opportunity to certainly try different roles and different style of companies. But one of the things that I'd be sort of thinking about initially is when you're in a Salesforce consultancy environment, what you're doing is implementing a product or implementing Salesforce for end customers. And what it offers is that thirst for learning. You are constantly working with new customers, you're working with different products, you're learning different things all the time. You're always going to be a little bit out of your comfort zone because it's always variety. You go in and do a project for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and then you move on to the next. So it really suits, working in a Salesforce consultancy really suits somebody that loves variety, that doesn't want to get bored, wants to keep learning, that likes always that little bit of, I don't know this, so I'm going to find out. They like deadlines because everything is delivered within a time and a budget. So there is that sort of level of pressure of logging time and getting things done. There is a pace that needs to be upheld. So if you're somebody that gets bored easily, that you don't want to keep doing the same thing all the time, and you need that variety and spice of life, then working for a Salesforce consultant is going to tick all your boxes for you. If you are opposite to that and you like to be really entrenched into a company, you like the familiarity, you like knowing everybody really well, you like working on a system that you would own and understand, and you're tweaking and absolutely innovating and developing, but you like somewhere to be a bit more slower and steady, that you've not got those additional time pressures on you, and you like learning things in your own time, and just kind of, as I say, feeling familiar. One of the other kind of characteristics to this is when you're working with Salesforce in an end customer, you are really tweaking that system to really help that business perform better and really make staff happier, because normally you will be tweaking things because it's annoying somebody or the company isn't quite performing where they need to be, so you're improving processes to help them make more money or reduce costs somewhere. And so that really suits somebody that just really likes something a little bit more slow and steady, familiar, as I say. They like to kind of get to know people, they like to nurture people, they like training people. So that would really suit you, would really suit an end customer environment. And it's slightly similar to that is an ISV. So with an ISV, it is a standard product that you are implementing for customers. And so it's about knowing one product really well and teaching new customers over and over again how to use that product in their environment. So there will be a slight difference and nuance because every customer that you implement an ISV product for will be slightly different. So you'll get to know different people, get to know different customers, get to understand different situations and everything like that. So there is that variety, but what you're doing is implementing the same product. So there is that sense of familiarity with it. So that kind of gives you the best of both worlds, interestingly enough. It kind of gives you variety of customers, but familiarity with the product because you know that product really well, and that can help you boost your confidence because you're not having to learn a new product all the time. Whereas in a consultancy space, you might be constantly learning new products and opportunities and working out what that client needs and getting a whole diversity. So just to recap, in a consultancy environment, you could work as a BA, a project manager, a consultant, and have a variety of clients, a variety of products, a variety of opportunities, and constantly be learning new things, new customers, learning new products, and just getting a complete variety, which will be really interesting for some people. In an end customer, you're going to be working with the main product that they use. You might absolutely have some innovation in that and be implementing some new products, but it's working in the same customer, the same product, the same system for a period of time. So really kind of feeling comfortable being embedded within the business and with a team, that's going to suit you the best. And if you're somewhere in between and you like working with different customers and meeting different people, but you want that confidence of just knowing one product really well, then ISVs is where you're probably going to start your job hunt. So that kind of helps you think a little bit about personality styles. Now within the context of those roles, as I've just talked about, there's different job roles. So a Salesforce consultant will be that professional who will be able to gather requirements and implement a solution for a client and get their hands dirty, build the product out, and kind of what we call have a hybrid of skills. But what you can do in a Salesforce consultant role is actually split that out into 3 distinguished roles as well, and you might choose to just do one of those 3 roles. So you might be a Salesforce administrator, which is where you are just building the system and tinkering with it. You might also be gathering some requirements and have some BA skills there as well. And so, being able to configure the product. So that's going to suit you if you continue to like to, get your hands dirty with the system. If you learned about Salesforce and you do the admin certification and you get your hands dirty and you think, actually, I really love what Salesforce can do as a product, but I don't want to be sat at my computer building a system every day, you might choose to go more into a business analysis role or project manager role. When you're working as a BA, what you're doing is going out and talking to teams, understanding their pain points, gathering requirements, and helping them think about all those exciting new solutions that they could do. So you're kind of getting the whole first of, oh, we could do this or we could do that, and you're solving problems, but you're not the one actually then having to go away and build it. What you're going to do is document all of those requirements and propose and discuss them with the technical team, which could be Salesforce administrators or developers, for example. And so they're going to build the system out. If you have more a coordinating, you like coordinating, managing things, you might choose to actually do more of a project manager role. And as a project manager, you'll be facilitating all these different parties because, as we've talked about, you've got BAs, you've got Salesforce admins, you've got developers, you've got customers. You need a project manager that's going to bring all those different parties together and make sure everything happens in an appropriate timeline. So if you really love planning and organising things and you've done project management type skills in the past, then absolutely you could step into a project manager role within the Salesforce ecosystem and be just organising everybody, having your systems to project manage things and to know what's being done. And so there's a whole range of roles, and they're just a sample of them. As I've talked about, Salesforce developer roles, which is where you get more technical. You could work more in the sales team, and sales team is around just really exciting prospect clients about what Salesforce could do. Once they've kind of committed and said, absolutely, we agree, this could be fantastic for us, you're then handing that project over to the implementation team to do. There's just a whole suite of job roles available for you. And so what I'm going to do with you is just share a quick slide showing the different types of rates that are available for people with these different salary brackets. So give me 2 secs and I'll get that slide up. So as you can see here, you have two choices when you start out in these different job roles. You could start out as a contractor role in contracts, which could be for a shorter period of time, anything from sort of 2 months to a year, for example, maybe longer than that. Or you could apply directly for permanent job roles. What we find at Supermums is quite often people will do either. Sometimes seeking out contract roles can help just people get more work experience on their CV, help them try out different job roles, get a feel for what they like and what they don't like, and then they can apply for that permanent role. And so it really just depends on your situation because, if you're looking to have a mortgage or to buy a house, then you might absolutely need to go into a permanent role. One of the things that I would say is that, you can achieve more money financially working as a contractor as you progress. So as you can see here, I've got starting salaries and I've got salaries as they advance, maybe 2 years on, depending on certs and experience. So you can really start to increase your day rate over a couple of years. You would be adding new certifications and building your experience during that time. So obviously it's not like for like, after 2 years, you're going to be much more advanced in your learning capabilities. So you can quickly start progressing up the career ladder, making sure that you've got those promotion opportunities in the companies you're working for, or you might choose to move. The average churn rate within the Salesforce industry is every 2 years. And that's quite often because people want that next salary opportunity, that next career progression, and it's maybe not available at the company that they're working at. Or they want more variety, right? They've worked at a company for 2 years, they've understood that system and product really well, but after a couple of years, they've gone, you know what, I really need to go and get some more experience now doing something else. So don't feel like you need to stay somewhere if you've not got that progression opportunity. Obviously, a company would want to retain you. Hopefully, they would provide the promotional opportunities where they can because they might not be able to. But you definitely want to have this in mind when you're thinking about your career goals, is that you want to keep pushing yourself forward. You want to start on a good salary rate. 30k UK is the absolute minimum. I would be, particularly because when at Supermums we work with people who've got a lot of professional background and experience before coming to Salesforce. Typically, I like to sell people in at least 40k for a role, again, depending on their past experience. But you can quickly nudge up your skill rate and your salary potential on that. So you want to have that career and growth plan within any permanent role that you're going to be going into. And equally, if you're doing contract roles, your first contract you want to be at one rate, the second contract you want to be nudging yourself up the scale and increasing your salary because you're no longer a newbie to the industry. So as you can see, the Salesforce admin roles are typically the lower paid roles. They don't have to be your entry point. I want to make that absolutely clear. For some of you, you will have very transferable skills and you will be able to walk into job roles as a BA, a Salesforce consultant and project manager straight away if you want to. Again, making sure that you've got some relevant certifications on your CV will help with that. So at Supermums, we do a course around business analysis and project management skills. Equally, there are other courses out there, but getting those certifications on your CV initially, as soon as you can, within the first 6 months, is going to help you walk into those higher paid roles and give you that confidence to be able to do that job. So you don't have to start out as an admin. You can start out as a business analyst, project manager, Salesforce consultant. Salesforce consultancies will take more junior people into junior roles and then help progress you up into the Salesforce consultancy arena. And if you decide that you really love building out systems and you want to learn coding, then you can advance from a Salesforce admin to a developer. And again, very good lucrative rates here. There's a massive shortage of developers. There's ample opportunities there if you really want to get your hands dirty and really love building out the system. And that really suits people that are less people orientated. They just want to be more sat behind their computers at home rather than out there talking to people, which would be more the BA and project manager role. So really think about your personality. If you're that extrovert person or the introvert person, whether you prefer just sitting at home building out systems and being told what to do. So I hope that has been useful for you to see the salaries. Take a quick screenshot of that and you can sort of compare that against your career goals. So I hope that's given you a really clear idea of the different types of companies, the different type of roles and how that might suit your personality, your progression opportunities and whether you can take contract or perm. Obviously, we have a recruitment team at Supermums, so we will help review your CV, get you ready for interviews, put you forward for job opportunities that we have available through our agency. But equally, if we would also support you to improve your LinkedIn profile, to look at different ways to search for jobs, how to network for jobs. We have a massive community within the Supermums group of people that work with us, from volunteers, from sponsors to trainees that have been through our program already. We have over 500 trainees that have gone through this program, and we have this massive network that can help leverage job opportunities for people. So I absolutely love seeing that at one company we've got 3 Supermums all working together. They've hired from the talent pool and they're now all working as a team, which is absolutely phenomenal. So there's a real benefit from working with an organisation like ourselves to advance your career success and to really get clear on where you want to go, prep your CV, make sure you can sell yourself well into those different roles, and we'll help you land that job opportunity. So we look forward to working with you soon and can't wait to see your success in this journey if you think it's right for you. Take care. Bye.